Welcome back, Stacking the Box. My name is Mike Luciano, and I am here with Texas Tech punter Austin McNamara. I'd say pretty much the greatest punter in Texas Tech history because he has four of the top 8 seasons in terms of yards per punt, and he is looking to get drafted in the 2024 NFL Draft. Austin, thank you very much for taking the time to be here.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I'm excited.
I'm just curious about going through the whole pre-draft process as a punter because quarterbacks often get scrutinized, their names are in the media all the time. Punter is very different. So going through this process, what's it like being a specialist? Going through when you don't know if you'll get drafted, when you don't know which teams are going to look at you in which range. What's it like?
Yeah, no, it's definitely been an adjustment for sure. Coming from college and you kind of have that spot, solidified and you know your role and you know what team you're going to play for and you know your teammates, coaches, all that stuff. So through this process has been a lot different. It's been a lot of fun. I've got to travel a couple different events and showcase my stuff and my talent and just try and do my best at each one to get my name out there and show what I can do. But no, it's been great overall. As specialists, the process is a little bit different. Like you mentioned, as a quarterback, from quarterbacks and other top names, there's less TV time and camera time, which is fine. And it's not. I'm not looking for any of that either. But it's kind of one of the most. It's one. I think it's humbling, for all of us. And there's not very many guys that make it each year in the draft or out of free agency as well. So and so when you make that and when you kind of have that job that a lot of other people dream of. It just makes the hard work that you put in all worth it, and that makes you want to keep going and keep getting better. So I'm excited for the next couple weeks and looking forward to see what happens.
McNamara, of course, one of the two punters invited to the Reese's Senior Bowl. Kind of bouncing off that question. How do you go into a team when you're having a meeting and you try to distinguish yourself? Because it's not just necessarily yards per punt. If that was the case, they would just sort by yards per punt, and then whoever had the most, they take him above everybody else. So, what's it like going into a team meeting where I know that you're pretty high in yards per punt anyway, but how do you go, look, I know that my numbers are similar to this guy, but here's why I'd be better than them? What's your sales pitch?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, everybody compares the numbers, the stats and everything that you see on the stat sheet after a game. Instead of 20 total yards, your average, your net is also a big thing as well, net punting. But I think a lot of it, a lot of people don't track hang time as much, and so that's something I feel like I'm good at, and then also my directional punting as well. So being able to put it on different parts of the field. We punted a lot of cross field this year. And then outside the hash just towards the sideline the best I can. So we did a lot of that, and obviously I worked that every time I go out and punt, and it's something that I started doing I think when I was probably about a senior in high school. So I've worked on it for a long time, did it all throughout my career at Tech, and then obviously still doing it in the NFL. That's what they expect. So I that's what I feel like separates me a little bit from other guys, and you obviously got to have the big ball, different instead of 20 type punts as well. You pin them inside the 10. So all that you got to kind of have in your bag as well as a punter, but. I think the direction is what kind of separates me, so that's what I'm trying to strive for.
McNamara coming off a strong year at Texas Tech, playing for head coach Joey McGuire, who may have been a little bit of an unconventional hire when he came in. Of course, he was a high school coach over at Cedar Hill for God knows how long. Then he goes to Baylor and now Tech. What was it like playing for him, a guy who came from kind of an unusual background, a guy who doesn't necessarily have a pro background? What was it like playing for him? And do you think he prepared you well for the pros?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Him and his staff, Coach Perry, who's my special teams coordinator, and Coach Scoop, who's our special teams GA and analyst and stuff. He, all those guys were a big reason why I came back for our fifth season for at Tech. For me, it's my COVID year. Because I love playing for Coach McGuire. I loved being a part of the team and being able to represent them and they gave me a lot of stuff back in return. Just put my name out there, putting me on the highest stage and being able to showcase what I can do and give me an opportunity. So I'm very grateful for them and what they did for me. And I still talk to them here and there as well and throughout this whole process. And I'll go back to Lubbock for the spring game, so I'll see him in a few weeks too. But I'm excited to see this team this year. I know Coach Rogers do a great job and the standard is the standard. The brand, we talk about the brand all the time, and that's our standard there at Tech. And so the guys got to live up to that and play to that level, and they'll be fine. So I'm excited to watch them.
McNamara, kind of a unique in terms of measurables because not only are you 6'4", but you also have the largest hand size and wingspan on record for a punter, a former basketball player. Do you think that basketball background helped you when you're preparing for the pros? Because I know there's a lot of prospects coming in nowadays, especially out of high school that specialize, but it seems like basketball kind of helped you when it came to being the best athlete you could be at Tech.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Kicking and punting doesn't require a lot of running, so I used to be in better running shape when I was playing basketball. But the hand-eye coordination is huge. That helps me a lot. Being able to just be athletic, play other sports. They asked me every NFL interview that I've been in. They've asked if I play other sports in high school or that kind of stuff. So I always mention basketball because I played it growing up and throughout high school. So, but no, it definitely helps a ton. With the wingspan, hand size, all that is I guess just God given, stuff that talent that I'm able to use and use my strength and I'm obviously grateful for it. But basketball definitely helped me a ton. You also go shoot around. It's kind of like I haven't played a pickup game in a long time, but I'll go shoot around every once in a while, just kind of get away from football a little bit, just kind of my safe space. Golf is another big thing I've been doing recently too. So, but overall, yeah, basketball has helped a ton. I learned a lot. I love watching basketball too, and it really has prepared me for this next level. If you can pull different things for different sports to make you better, and that's the goal.
Plus, I'd imagine there's an Aaron Snap having those big arms will probably help you snag that thing so you don't roll backwards 30 yards.
Yeah.
So going to the Senior Bowl, what was that like? Especially because with combine invites and with Senior Bowl invites, they may invite hundreds of people, but kickers and punters, they normally only bring 4 or 5 of them every single year. So what was it like being chosen for that?
Yeah, I mean it was definitely one of my goals coming out of college and it was very very humbling being at the Senior Bowl, being at the combine, just and the Hula Bowl was back in January as well, and then having a pro day this past weekend. Like it all has been very very surreal for me, and I've been just trying to do my best at each one and get my body and my mind prepared for each one. The combine, like you mentioned, they usually bring a couple guys, but they decided to expand it this year, which helped a lot of us, I think, and gave a lot of guys opportunities, which was great. It was cool being in Indy. I punted well that weekend, so I was happy with that. Overall, it was a great experience, and I've never been there before, so it was really cool. And yeah, like I said, Senior Bowl is also amazing. That was one of my big goals as well, and so I'm grateful for Jim Nagy and his staff for picking me and to represent. And so it was a lot of fun. Yeah, can't obviously definitely recommend it to everyone and that's what I was striving for coming out of college. So I was glad I got to achieve that.
Have you had any meetings with teams so far? Any particular visits that have kind of caught your eye where you're like, whoa, this is pretty good?
Mm. Nothing. I mean, I met with a lot of scouts over, the Hula Bowl and Senior Bowl weeks, and then at the combine and pro day. I've been talking with the Bengals a little bit. The Chiefs, the Bears have reached out, and then I talked to the Cardinals here since I'm local, as well here in Arizona. I'll go to their local day on the 12th, so this upcoming Friday. So I'm excited for that. But no, other than that, it's just been, me just, working out, kicking, just kind of staying ready for whatever comes and we'll see what happens. So I'm excited.
Now, in the NFL draft, there's a bunch of punters that will always kind of get their chances. Sometimes it's guys like you that are really high ranking college guys. Sometimes it's the Aussie rule guys, which really quick, let me get your thoughts on that really quick because you're a traditional punter, not really an Aussie rules guy. Like, is it like, what's the best way to phrase it? Is this kind of like a warring thing? Or is this like we want our traditional guys, we want our Aussie guys, or are they both kind of simpatico? Are they both linking up? What's kind of the vibe on kind of the whole how the punting game sort of changed in college football? Because it seems like more and more teams are kind of going towards that whole rugby style run and kick it kind of thing.
Mm. Yeah, it's changed a lot throughout my time there at Tech. Those 5 years, it's changed. It's changed dramatically just with the rules and how let the guys roll out, move the pocket a little bit. And we've done a little bit of that at Tech as well. Just to I won't hit the end over end as much. I'll still be able to spiral it every once in a while too. And we just kind of give the defense a different look to have to prepare for that upcoming week. But so we use it a little bit, but no, all the Aussie guys are great. I met a lot. I played a lot against a lot of them during my time at Tech, and then throughout this whole process, there's been obviously some of the top guys are in this draft class, and so it's been really fun get to know them, get to learn about where they came from, their background, and they're all and at this level, from here on out, if they can traditional punt, then it's gonna get them a job. It's everyone's kind of at the same level right now, and everyone's such a great punter, great athlete, and everyone's had great college careers. So now we're all kind of equal, so you got to do stuff to separate yourself a little bit. But like I said, there's been a lot that I've got to know over the years, and definitely keep in contact with, and like I said, they're great dudes, and they've changed the game a lot, which has been really cool to see, and we'll see how it keeps progressing.
Talking with Austin McNamara, Texas Tech punter and 2024 NFL draft hopeful. I want to let you go with one more question because with how many punters come in and how many kickers come in every year, there's always got to be something that you got to do as a prospect to sort of sell yourself apart. So, what's one fun fact people might not know about you, or one thing that when you say it, people go, "Really? Austin McNamara does that?" What's your unique thing that you got
Mhm.
going for you?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, besides like hobbies, like I play a lot of golf. A lot of the guys play golf. One thing that separates me as a punter, I would say, is that I'm also a kicker. So I kicked in high school. I was an all-state kicker my senior year. I have a couple game winners, just different things. And I actually liked kicking earlier, or I liked kicking before I liked punting. Believe it or not, actually, I was more of a kicker. Like I liked kicking field, making points, scoring points. Kicking off, like that type of stuff. So. Like I said, I actually kicked. That was like my main thing throughout high school, and then I kind of flipped when I got recruited to college. I was obviously a punter more than a kicker, but there's not a whole lot of punters in this class, if any. There's only a couple that kick off and kick field goals as well. So I feel like that kind of separates me a little bit from the other guys. A lot of teams have been surprised when I mentioned that. And I haven't kicked off at Tech or kicked field goals at Tech. I do it in practice and stuff, um, but overall, I think that's probably. I mean, I don't have like an interesting fact, or I'm pretty boring, I'd say. So I'm not really. I just have the general. I'm just a basic guy. I just kind of do my thing on the field and stuff and punt, and that's kind of what I do. But with field goals and kickoffs, it's definitely separated me a little bit. Like I said, I've tried to keep that fresh over the last couple of years. Just for when this time comes through the process, I can show that I can do it and be an emergency backup guy in a game. So, but no, that's probably kicking is the way to go, and that's kind of what I've been telling these scouts and coaches. So.
As long as you keep pinning guys inside the 10, they'll find a spot for you. So thank you guys for tuning in to Stacked in the Box. Thank you to Austin McNamara, Texas Tech punter, and 2024 NFL draft hopeful, who put up some really gaudy numbers with the Red Raiders, who, as all the measurables, need to be a really good pro. And we wish you success in the pros. And thank you so much, Austin, for tuning in and help.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it. Thank you.